Hello, and Michael O'Leary's back here. You know him. He's the man who runs Ryanair. Now, the budget airline this morning said that its profits had fallen by more than a quarter. Michael O'Leary, that's rather unusual news from Ryanair. Normally, we have you coming into this studio and you're gloating about how great your latest profits are. What's happened?
Well, I mean, the profits have fallen by 27%, which is in line with our guidance. And the good news for people is it's because of lower airfares. Our average fares, including the bag charges, have fallen by 4% in the quarter. People are flying now at cheaper prices on Ryanair than they have ever flown before. And the good news for consumers is we think that's going to continue in the next 12 months.
I never cease to marvel at the way you're able to take a difficult question and turn it round into another plug for Ryanair.
As long as it leads
to unique talent.
Declan, as long as it leads to lower fares for
Enough with the plugs.
Mr. and Mrs. Joe Public, we think that's good news.
On the economy, things must be bad. If your profits are suffering, if you're warning that this year is going to be tough, it must be bad out there.
I think it's potentially very bad in the next 12 months. I mean, we have this perfect storm coming in the airline industry of much higher oil prices and potentially recession. You know, a lot of people are skirting around it. We don't think we should skirt around it. We think there will be a recession in the UK and across Europe next year. We think fares are going to be lower. We think that's bad news for our competitors because people are going to trade down to the lowest fare airline, which is Ryanair, but good news for the travelling public.
You did it again. You got another plug in there.
I can't help it.
Contain yourself, man, for goodness sake. Actually, what you need is a bit of recession to drive down the oil price, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be very helpful. You know, we saw that in recent weeks, oil prices softening significantly on the back of recessionary fears. And then you get those less than sensible people in the Fed cutting interest rates in a panic. Oil price jumps back up again. But I think we may be at the turning point for oil. And if we are, that's probably a good thing as well. It'll help us to keep driving down costs and driving down airfares.
Lots of people have been saying that what we need is a cut in interest rates here in the UK and also on the continent of Europe where you operate. Do you agree with that?
No, I think what we need is actually, you know, maybe is a year or two of recession. You know, the whole system got very frothy in the last couple of years. We can't keep kind of bailing ourselves out with these artificial interest rate cuts. It's time now for everybody to tighten the belt, focus on reducing costs, and reducing costs means flying with the lowest fare airline, Ryanair.
This is tough love. There aren't many company bosses who come in here and say what we need is a bit of recession.
I think it's the truth. I mean, we've had 5 or 6 very good years. I think, you know, everybody's lost the run of themselves a little bit. A little bit of recession would be very good for the economy, be good for interest rates, and it'd be good for the price of oil as well.
All right. I mentioned in the office this morning that you were coming in as our guest again today, and the usual chorus breaks out of what on earth is he going to charge for next? You charge people for food on flights. Well, you know, people accept that now. Charging for luggage? How far can you push this?
I mean, as far as baggage, remember, it's checked-in baggage. We've raised the carry-on limits from 7 to 10 kilos, but we've been quite open. You know, we're going to keep increasing the charge for checked-in bags. We want to encourage people to travel with less checked-in bags. We're never going to get to a situation where there's no checked-in bags, but even including those baggage charges, fares have fallen by 4%.
There's no point in you increasing the allowance on bags you can carry on yourself when the security authorities say you can only bring on one bag.
Well, you can still bring on one bag on Ryanair. It'll be a 10-kilo bag. On BA, it'll only be a 7-kilo bag. But I do think we've got to keep the pressure on the security authorities. You know, you have these nonsense regulations about carry-on liquids and 100ml bottles and cosmetics. You know, lipsticks are the new weapons of mass destruction. This is nothing but bloody politics. And the sooner we get back to sensible security, the better it will be for the airline industry and also for the UK government.
No, tell us what you really think.